What's up, everybody? It's Anthony with Jhuly Aquatics and Gardening, and welcome back to another video. So it's Quick Tip Tuesday, and today is all about containers and staging your potted plants in a eye-pleasing, artistic type of way. Now, I'm starting here on my front porch, and I'm showing you an example of what not to do and how not to stage your plants. These plants have been here for quite a number of weeks, and I have yet to properly stage this area. I had started to, and then I had just kind of given up because I had a whole bunch of other projects going on. But you can see that I have the framework of this area in place. I have a lot of plant stands, which are actually candle holders that I picked up from the local thrift store. So you can tell, that they were just candelabras or candle holders or whatever. And I spray painted them in the same finish. I don't remember what the name of the spray paint is. If I can remember to look at the can and put the name of the paint down below, then I will in the description box. But I made them make sure that they matched with the table. You can see it kind of has the same finish as the plant stand. I tried to mirror it as closely as possible. So there's a cohesive look with the stands, so that things don't look jumbled, but there's not a cohesive look with the pots, meaning they're not all the same finish, and there's not like a particular design behind how I stage them. So I will be reworking this area and showing it to you in another video. However, when you're staging a particular area, whether it's on your front porch, at the ends of a driveway, in front of garage doors, you want to try to have all of the containers speak the same language. Now, when I say speak the same language, they don't necessarily have to be in the same finish in terms of color, but the style of the containers should match. Now you can see here that this kind of Italian clay is obviously a different color than the regular terracotta behind it. However, they do speak the same language because they're both clay pots and they kind of have the same vibe or aesthetic going on. So that kind of matches, and you don't really notice, well, I don't anyway, I don't notice the finish as much. But I've got these glazed ceramic pots over here and this kind of stoneware pot, and that doesn't match. Now, to me, this pot speaks the same language as these pots, because it kind of has that earthen finish. It kind of has that, rustic quality about it. These, however, are glazed. They're ceramic. They don't fit in. So what I'm thinking about doing is moving those glazed pots and kind of reworking this area. Swinging over to this side. Sorry, I'm a little bit blown out here. This is my scented geranium theater, and I stole that kind of theater name from Linda Vader. As you can see here, again, I have a mixture of the Italian clay with the regular terracotta. I don't notice the difference because all of these pots speak the same exact language, and so they kind of blend in. So this area is designed to me, except for that little basket underneath of there. So you can see here what I mean, and even this pot to the right of it, it has that same finish. It has that same rustic quality. So when you're walking up to the house, this doesn't look out of place. This doesn't look out of balance. It looks scaled. It looks like it fits in. It looks like it belongs. And then I kind of mirrored that same principle in the back. I've got another clay pot on the plant stand back there. And then I kind of have this weave basket planter here. Now this is a plastic pot, but you couldn't tell because it's surrounded by real materials. Okay? And so it just blends in. Again, down here I've got another Italian clay pot, and then I've got a wood planter at the base. So everything in this corner matches, speaks the same language, and fits in. And so if I back up here, I know there's a lot of plant material, but you can see that it just looks like it fits, it works. Nothing looks out of place or out of scale. So again, you want to be thinking about scale, you want to think about placement, you want to think about the pots speaking the same language. One final example I have is here in this corner of the driveway. Now this is still a work in progress. I've got some of the pots soaking in fish fertilizer, which is another tip that I'll share with you momentarily. But I've got these big planters, which it kind of looks like stone, right? But again, this is like a fiberglass. But again, the style of the container, it matches with the, again, this real Italian, can't talk, terracotta here on the right hand side. It's the same color family, they blend in, and again, it matches with these earthenware containers that I have at this end of the driveway. So that's tips number what? 1 through 10. Again, I'm still staging this area. This area is a work in progress. This is actually where I've been storing a lot of my plants for projects. But again, we're looking over here, and I've got a boxwood theater that I'm working on, and I'm gathering pots up for this. And I'll show you again this in a later video. Alright, so this is another tip that I'd like to share with you guys. What I do at least once a week is I get a bucket and I fill it with water. I don't know if you can see down in there, but I just fill it with water and I add some type of fertilizer. This week I'm putting in this fish fertilizer. It's an Alaska brand, and I got it from Walmart a couple years ago. Sometimes I fill it up with Dr. Earth's all gold, all-purpose fertilizer. Sometimes, it all depends what I have on hand, but it's always a liquid feed that I put in there, and I leave the pots to soak for an hour. And you can see what happens. This part of the soil is still dry. Over there, it's hydrated. So it takes a little bit of time, and you can see that again over here. This side of the soil is hydrated, that side is not. And again, a lot of plants prefer to be bottom watered, and by doing this, I can fertilize a lot of plants in a short amount of time, and I don't have to keep running back and forth to the hose, and filling up my watering can. And actually there it is, it's kind of small, and I have to keep on putting in fertilizer. I just kind of, fill this up, and I can get multiple plants fed in a short amount of time. So there's a secondary tip for you guys. So again, when you're choosing your pots, make sure that they speak the same language and arrange them in a way that is pleasing to the eye. I like to do taller things at the back and work my way down to smaller things at the front. And if you have a smaller pot that you'd like to highlight, whether, because it's a special pot or it has a nice design or there's some sentimental value to it, consider raising it up on a plant stand. And they don't have to be expensive. You can go to your local thrift store and get really interesting really neat pieces like this. Spray paint them if you have to, and you can elevate a pot from something ordinary to something extraordinary. So maybe in another quick tip, I will redesign this area to let you guys see it and kind of go into a little bit more of what I think about when I'm designing an area. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Thanks for... This beam is always in the way when I try to film this area. Thanks for subscribing, liking, watching, sharing, and commenting. We've passed 500 subscribers, and I am totally stoked about it. And I hope you guys will join me in my next video. Thanks, guys, for again tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.